U.S. President Donald Trump sparked another political firestorm when he doubled down on his initial response to the violent white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, which ended in a bloodshed, saying there was blame on both sides. Trump, who drew sharp criticisms from Republicans and Democrats for his initial response to the unrest in the Virginia college town, reverted on Tuesday to his position that both sides were at fault for the violence after bowing to pressure to explicitly condemn the Ku Klux Klan neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups. Joining us on Skype from Washington, D.C. to discuss this issue is a global affairs analyst, Phatey. Thank you for joining us, Phatey.
My pleasure.
Now, tell us, you have the benefit of proximity to Washington, D.C. How well is the presidency's media team managing this controversy unleashed by the president?
Well, the president's media team is not managing this controversy. They are not absolutely managing this issue. What is happening here is seeing Donald Trump and his most senior advisors and his team trying to prepare or address the nation there in such a way that he does not offend neo-Nazis, he does not offend racists, he does not offend white supremacist groups like the KKK. This was a president who, when he was trying to get to the White House, he refused blatantly to condemn neo-Nazis, to condemn the KKK, who were publicly endorsing him, acting like he doesn't even know that they existed, trying to downplay everything. So it is not a surprise that President Trump have decided that he is going to come out and not directly condemn them. In fact, he was forced to make the condemnation where he mentioned white supremacists and other right-wing groups. But this was the very platform and agenda on which President Trump seeked the White House. This was the very platform and agenda through which he won. If you had David Duke, who was a leader of the KKK, he said that they came out to make sure that the promise that Donald Trump made to get America back is achieved. That was what they were doing in Charlottesville, and this is going to continue to happen across the country unless the administration stands up and put an end to this.
Granted, you've acknowledged that he was endorsed by the KKK, and of course, upon assuming the presidency, he was anti-immigrant in posture. Now, how well does this sit on, Trump being an American president? What are the more far-reaching implications for the near future?
Look, it is good to see that in Congress, regardless of what party you belong to, both Republicans and Democrats have stood up to condemn this, what had happened in Charlottesville. Now, it is a sad day for America. In fact, it's been a very sad period for this country. It's for people like me, who is a young black man from Africa. If I can come to America and be able to get an education and achieve my dreams, and I know if I work even harder, I can achieve and live the American dream. Look, or even take my success and go back to Africa and work. And that is what this country is about. Now, if all the policies that the Trump administration is trying to implement is policies that are so opposite the values upon which this country was built. Every policy that they have tried is to make sure that they can keep refugees out of this country. Every day we are hearing in the news that thousands of refugees are suffering and stranded in camps, whether it is in Uganda or whether it is in Kakuma camp in Kenya. Look, this is a country where we know that a young man who comes from the jungles of Democratic Republic of Congo or from the forested mountains of Bosnia can come to and be able to work hard and make it. That is what the American value is. But if Donald Trump sits there and compares people like Confederate leaders to like President Washington or to President Jefferson, it is sad. It means he has no knowledge or no understanding of American history. We are in 2017. We have passed that stage. Look, when we say make America great again, to an average American, that could mean a better economy. It could mean better security. But for Donald Trump and for his team and for news agencies like Breitbart that have been backing him, that means let us take America back to the days of slavery, where minorities are segregated like during the Jim Crow times, where black people are held in chains. We have passed that.
Sam, let's make it more specific now. Crime and race is a very big issue in the United States of America. How will President Trump's posture, affect crime and race? Will it enhance crimes committed by different races, or will it diminish it?
Look, it doesn't necessarily mean that crime is going to continue, but when not petty crimes like theft and all of those things, absolutely not. But what is the kind of crime that we may see an increase in? Hate crime. We are going to see a lot of racist attacks, a lot of hate crime, and this may not just necessarily come from just white people. We can see some black man that gets angry and attack a white person. We can see white people attacking black people. So that is the one thing that we need to address. That is the one thing that this administration needs to avoid. But that is why it is very important that leaders, whether you be white or leaders of black organizations, must come out to make sure that they talk to the people. Religious leaders must also come out to make sure that they talk to the people. We have seen since President Trump. Since Trump came to power, we've actually seen crime rates increase, not just in hate, not just within races, but even within religions. We have seen Muslims and other minority religions in this country.
All right, Sam Phatey, thank you very much. We do hope that Congress addresses it firmly. I'm sorry I had to interject a bit sharply, but thank you very much, Sam Phatey, joining us from the United States of America, addressing Donald Trump's comments, which sparked controversy on the crime in Charlottesville, Virginia.